Okay, folks, what's the most important thing that deals with golf? You hear people talk about the grip, tempo, the posture, etc., etc., etc. Let me tell you, the most important thing in golf, no matter what method you subscribe to, is going to be your setup. It's going to be the way you set up to the ball. Once you build you a solid setup, you'll be able to hit the ball from an open stance, a closed stance, a square stance, a strong grip, a weak grip, a neutral grip. Look at all the best golfers in the world. The one thing they have in common is a solid setup. So build your setup. Take the time in front of a mirror if you're doing the premium setup. Piston, pivot, and anchor your weight. Get your speed out front. Make sure you're playing with semi-closed shoulders, okay? The setup is going to be what brings you to the next level. Concentrate on your setup. 2 tips. I'm going to tell you again. If your ball striking is off, make sure that your weight is correct, all right? If your weight is all sporadic, then your ball striking is going to be off. If your ball flight is off, check your shoulders and make sure they're working properly like a piston. That's my philosophy. That's my method. I know it works. I have countless clients and I can prove it works. I have countless subscribers and you guys know it works. So build you a solid setup and then you can start adding everything else to your golf journey, okay? Take care. That's confidence in smoking the ball. I took it right at that big old oak tree and just drew it right off of the oak tree. But that's confidence and knowing your game. So hey folks, let me share a little news with you also. Okay, I've been going back and forth from my little house. Hey, sorry folks, I have the charger in, and when you have the charger in with an iPhone, it has the propensity to want to cut off on you and go to a different mode. And so I just had to take the charger out and start it up. But hey, well, let me share some information with you guys. Hey, I'm out here playing Riverlands Country Club today, and this probably be my last course vlog out here. Not because I dislike the course, it's because I've been going back and forth from my house in Bay St. Louis to New Orleans for business, okay? But I really enjoy Bay St. Louis and the Gulfport and those areas a lot more. So I'm actually going to move the operation down there to Bay St. Louis Gulfport. What it's going to do, it's going to bring in 30 to 35 more golf courses to my within my grasp. It's also, wow, I smoked that ball. Took it right off this tree and then drew it off. Nice ball, big ball. But it's also going to help my students out. I get multiple students that come from Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama, and they always come to New Orleans. And it's a bonus to come to New Orleans because you get to come to Bourbon and the French Quarter and all those type of things, you know. But it's a burden also for these guys, you know. And I got most of my clientele is coming from out of town for some odd reason. I get a lot of clientele from Florida and Mississippi. So I'll be moving the operation down to Bay St. Louis within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're in the process of moving all the little temporary stuff down there to that location, to that house right there, about a mile from the beach. And it's going to really help me out. And I'm only an hour away from New Orleans from my clientele here. So when I come to New Orleans, I'll come down here and get a bite to eat and then do my lessons down here in New Orleans. But it's going to really open up my base because it's going to give me more access to local instruction for Mississippi, Florida, and Alabama. Okay, folks? So, hey, excuse me, enjoy this course vlog and look forward to seeing the course vlogs coming up. This little tree, I don't think it's going to give me any problems, so I should still be able to get it up in the air and land this ball. This is that touch distance right here. You know, a lot of people are not comfortable with this distance. well, you see what I did? I put my feet close together. I put the ball back in my stance, and I just trapped it. You know, I felt like my target side arm was extremely heavy, and I trapped it. You know, and that's a shot that they used to use in the old days. It gets about chest high, but when it hits the green once and it checks up. It has a lot of action on the ball. But I tell you right now, first go to the practice tee if you're going to start implementing this old school shot into your bag, because you're going to have to trust the way it looks for you, okay? It doesn't get up there all pretty. You know, it's a shot. A lot of the European guys, they still use this shot, but it's a shot that over here in America that we don't use no more because of the course designs that we have moved toward. But it's a really good shot. If nothing's in front of the green, that ball hit once, it checked up, and it stopped right where it was, okay? Yeah, I'll take you up here and see it. I mean, these are a lot of old school shots. I'm an old school golfer. You guys already know that. And I have a lot of different shots that I haven't showed people that I'll use on the golf course. But see that ball checked up gorgeous. I mean, it hit once, it took the bounce, and it just stopped. And the reason it did that is because of all the action that I had on the ball. I had a ton of action on the ball, you know, but like I said, it's a shot you got to go practice. The European players are still using it. So that ball hit right here, hit right there, and took one bounce and then stopped. Okay. So we got a little slopey green on this one. This is going to be a little challenging on this one. The green breaks hard from left to right. Okay. Let's go make this happen. The goal for this one is not to make it. If it makes it, I makes it. But my goal is to get it close where I can tap it in. Okay, folks, level par. You see what I did on that putt? I didn't get up high enough, and I almost messed up because the ball ran a little bit further than I anticipated. So make sure you're reading enough break into your greens, okay? Take care. Okay, this is a challenging driving hole because you actually got to take it through a chute, you know, and it's visually challenging for most people. So you really got to pick a small target out and focus on it and just hit a nice smooth swing. You know, make sure you're getting through the target, getting your speed out front, and just, you know, and just trust it. So my target is going to be the ladies' tee, that orange stake right there. That's like dead center. That's what I did. I took it right over the ladies' tee. And as you saw, I was even specific and said that orange stake that I'm going to take you up here in a minute and show you how specific I was coming through this chute right here. You know, because this hole is visually intimidating. You know, these big old pines been here for hundreds and hundreds of years, and you gotta shoot through here. You know, and they run up to both sides of the fairway. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the orange stake that I was talking about. What was my target? And I figured if I go anywhere 5 to 10 feet close to this target, then I would be okay. So I took it right over this orange stake on the left-hand side of it, and it worked out really nice for me. Yeah, but I see, so what I'm saying is, pick out small targets. They make a difference. Pick out small targets. They make a big difference. Now I'm sitting up here with a room with a view, and now the hole plays like a regular golf hole now, okay? The most challenging thing was that tee box on this par 5. That was the most challenging part of it, the visual part of it. I'm gonna try to hit a draw with a fairway wood. I'm gonna start it out to the right and just draw it back to the fairway. Just like that. I started it out to the right side of the fairway and it draw right back to the center of the fairway. .975 F, 14.5 degree with the EI 70 shaft, baby. Like I said, nothing has been able to knock that 3-wood out of my bag. And you can see why right there. And it's a long club. I could go play golf courses with my 3-wood, with that 3-wood, and never bring my driver out the bag. But I actually took that ball right down the right-hand side, and it just curled back about 3 yards right to the center of the fairway. Beautiful. That's one of the best 3-woods I've hit in the last couple of days. I've been hitting some really nice fairway woods, but that was pure because I actually aimed it and everything came off perfectly. Here's the 100-yard marker, so I'm about 50 yards out. All right. So this might be a difficult distance for people, so you got to really practice these shots. So I'm just going to take my favorite 56-degree wedge and snuggle up there. Okay, you know how I rate balls. I'll say that ball was a 80 or 80, 85, 90. When I hit that ball, I thought that was a 90 ball. But I'm going to change this ball out on this next hole because I think something's wrong with the core. Because, that was a solid strike, but the way it just fell out the air was kind of weird. So I'm going to actually change this ball out. I think something's wrong with the core on it. Yep. Little things like that we check on as we playing golf. Now I can't change it out on this hole, all right, because the ball's not split or damaged or nothing, but I actually can mark it and see if it is. But I think something's wrong with the core. I could just feel it. When you hit a lot of balls over the course of the years, you can tell. And that ball was on the green and then just dropped out the sky. And balls don't drop out the sky like that. All right? That's not normal to see a ball just drop out the sky the way that one did. All right. See that? Please be home today, Stan. Please be home. Okay, folks, level par. You can see the ball got a mark on it. I think I cut it on that last hit right there. I told you I could feel that something was wrong with the ball, so I think I cut it. I squashed the ball, but I felt it cut. I just felt the ball didn't feel right. Okay, take care.